Welcome to the Call to Cinema. My name is Aaron. I've got Malcolm here from May to December, and we are going to be chatting today about some really big announcements, some really, really big stuff, and some really not big announcements.
Yes.
I am going to be as uncut with my thoughts as you've ever seen me be on here. And hot takes. But remember, anytime you're watching something like this or any video at all from any YouTuber that's talking about movies or stuff, we are giving our own personal opinions. They may differ from yours, and that is okay. It'd be really freaking boring if we all had the exact same opinion. But we try to do that in a light that hopefully helps people. We didn't talk. I was going to go right into the partner labels, but we have not talked Vinegar Syndrome's announcements on the regular channel. We talked about it on the Patreon.
Well, we'll be honest. Let's be honest. When we did the Patreon, you got really emotional.
I did.
We had to leave because of something you saw. So that's going to probably come up later. But
it's definitely.
So we ended up forgetting all about the partner labels.
I did. I totally I was so peeved, and I'll get into it. That I legitimately forgot about the partner labels. I just Now that being said, without getting too deep into it, I will say I did like the Millicene launch. I thought that was really well done. I just wish it would have been a bit more on the district side of it.
I enjoyed the launch, but I will say the thing that stressed me out for me was my card payment wasn't going through. And then some of the district stuff, and that was 200 copies only on there. So it was so I was in a rush. I ended up in 20 minutes just stressing over if my payment was going to go through. And to me, that really frustrated me because obviously it's away from me talking to you. So, and that's what I don't know about this whole limited edition stuff. You know what I mean?
That's the killer part. We're going to talk about some editions in a second, actually. Let's get right into this. Let's do this. Let's peel off that Band-Aid. But before I do, this is, as always, a YouTube channel, and the gods of YouTube algorithm are strange, unusual, and weird. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you see these videos. Hit that like button. It really does help out. As well, if you want to, you can super chat, you can super sticker. It helps with the channel. It helps us keep doing these videos. Or you can even donate. There's a little donation button if that makes you feel a bit more comfortable. Either way, I just hope you enjoy this. And prepare to hear me bitch a bit today because
I may a bit.
Yeah, you too. All right, here we go. So this is going to be your first subscriber package.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Don't worry though. As a guy that subscribed last year, it gets better. So let's dive into this, and we'll leave the VSL to last because it's not part of the package. No. So you're getting 3 titles. This is probably the one I'm most excited to see.
Yeah.
I will say I absolutely adore the artwork on Amazon Jungle 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I don't remember this movie at all. Do you know?
I don't remember either of them, but I will say, looking at the screen caps, I'm very excited to watch them because they look like they're going to be great exploitation movies because they're from Brazil, if I believe correct.
Yeah.
And I watched many films from there, especially ones that I don't know if this one's subtitled or dubbed, but half the time you can't tell if they're dubbed. You know what I mean? The one is where they're from. But I love the artwork, and I really am looking forward to it. Probably the first thing I'd take out to watch, to be honest, out of the Vinegar Syndrome lineup.
Well, the good thing is, Malcolm, you get a choice between subtitles and dubs.
Oh, nice. So it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, can I just say, I love it's 2 discs. I hate when they put 2 movies on 1 disc. I hate that.
Exactly. And this is another great choice with that as well. We got a good commentary track here, it looks like, with film historian Fabio Veloso. A brand new interview with the lead actress of the film. That's a short one at 30 minutes long. We get an interview with the director running at 40 minutes. Latin American exploitation cinema, an interview with film historian Dr. Victoria. And by the way, guys, for those that don't know, expect me to mispronounce things on a regular basis. It's part of my channel and its charm, and I kind of lean into it.
It does on purpose.
Vitale. Yeah, exactly. if I wanted to get like pronunciations right all the time, I'd have to have my better half like speaking to my ears. That is the truth.
Yeah.
What's really neat here, and I'm very excited about, is the Sadian Women in Prison, a 60-minute video essay by
That's
Anne
gonna be good.
Alamet. That's really interesting.
That's the type of extras I want, instead of just trailers and,
Oh, it is 100%. Like this is one I can say, like, eventually down the road, I will buy this, and it will be like, one, for the films, because I like one of the prison films, but two, that feature would put me at the top, even if it wasn't. And there is where the goodwill is going to end for right now. You know it.
Yeah.
Because we're about to get into it. Now, before we do, the one thing that I would like to say, hey, Anubis, welcome, man. It has been
Anubis.
Apparently, Anubis watched the Twisted Metal series. Said it was really good. And I actually I'm excited to know that, because when they showed off a...
Because it was on Peacock, wasn't it?
Yeah, they showed off a trailer for it, a scene during like the Video Game Awards, and it wasn't very didn't look very good. But actually, the series itself does seem to be good. So and I've heard that now from several people. But Anubis I trust, so there you go. I want to open up the series so I can actually see your messages. I do apologize, Anubis. I didn't see your message before because I forgot to open up my iPad like I normally do during these videos. I was on Twitter, on Facebook, and and they were mentioning like Ben McKenzie is an actor, but he actually has been talking about cryptocurrency, and he pretty much has the same thoughts on cryptocurrency that I do. Like it's a Ponzi scam. Like that's literally.
It is definitely. I definitely think so.
And people are like, he's an actor? How can he talk about stuff like this? Well, he's that's what his degree is in, not in acting. His degree is in economics from the University of Virginia, which is this is not a community college. University of Virginia is one of the top 25%.
I think that's what some people forget. I think some people forget actors also have other degrees.
So I got like somebody like one of the crypto bros, like kind of just like coming at me. Oh no. So, but yeah, it happens. Be careful with your money, guys. Just saying that. I'm not an economics major, so that's going out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I want to show this first. Before we go any farther, we're going to get into it. So I want to show this. This is the first Cardona collection set right here.
It's a nice set too, except the pictures of it. Except I like the fact that the set's got, like the slip and another slip. But I think the cover itself is very lacking.
Because I'll tell you right now, though, this is literally how I feel about the Cardona sets, and how I feel people are going to feel once they get the Cardona sets. See this here? Snake in the background? Like biting it's not meant to, but it looks like he's biting the guy in the eye. It's going to bite the guy in the butt, right? So anyway, that's how I feel people are going to feel once they start watching these movies. So, spoiler alert, not great films. I am, however, a bigger fan of his dad and would rather have seen his dad's movies than I would his put on here. But let's look at it anyway. The box is absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
And that, my friends, is the last good thing you're going to hear me say about this here collection. It is Cardona Collection.
So you've seen all the movies in the box then?
I think I have. I'm going to, as we go through, I'll let you know if there's ones that I haven't seen. Beaks, the movie I have seen. I'm pretty sure that's Chris Atkins from Blue Lagoon and Dallas. But it's cheesy. Some people love Beaks. But the animal cruelty part of it just leaves me cold.
Yeah.
So this is a 3-disc set. And it's Renaud Cardona Jr. For those that don't know, if that have not seen me mention online or haven't watched my other videos.
3-disc set 4 movies, I guess.
I'm not a fan of the director. I'm not a fan of a lot of the stuff that he does. And I think that in the first collection, one thing you're going to notice right away, and did you watch the first collection yet, by the way?
Not yet, no.
This guy needs an editor. He needs an editor like Rob Zombie, who I actually like some of his movies of. Sometimes he's an editor. because everything seems like it's at least 20 minutes too long.
Yeah.
And there's some places where there's some nice ideas, but under a better director, it will be formulated better. That's and there's a Donald Pleasance like in one of these. Donald Pleasance was one of my favorite actors.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Like I bought it because, well, I was a subscriber at the time, and that's the thing. I do think that if this was coming out, hey there, Robert, welcome, man. Yeah, animal mutilation was definitely necessary. But the thing was, it wouldn't like I would be okay. Wouldn't be okay like Anubis with the fact that it's a product of its time, if it wasn't for the fact that he just leaned into it so much. Like it almost became part and parcel, like a thing for him in a lot of his cinema. Like others, like Deodato, would go basically like push against that and be honest and say it was of its time, but I feel bad about it. I never felt like we got anything from that from Cardona Jr. If there is something out there, and he eventually like said that, I will definitely come on here and apologize about it.
I reckon.
But I don't think so.
Has he passed away?
Yeah, like and his son like passed away last year. That's why the sets were slowed down.
Then that he might have said it on his deathbed. He might have said it. It might have been his last words.
You better like. Well, if he gets up there and like he sees like there's a turtle or a bird like that's like the great one up there, then he's in for some deep trouble.
That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? If that happened and they went, you did this, and then they all did what they could do to him. That'd be hilarious.
It would be, well, yeah, not to its family. Now, Michelle Johnson is in this. No, I do think that if you want to see Michelle Johnson, Blame It on Rio is probably a much better choice for that. But she is in Beaks. It's probably the best known of this here. And the reason, though this is odd, that there's going to be 8,000 copies of this rather than 6,000. Now, I don't have any like statistics on what sells or what doesn't sell well, but I don't think the first Cardona collection sold extremely well from what I've heard. But again, that's just going by what I've read online.
Well, considering it's been in so many sales now, and they quite really discounted in the recent one, it kind of says a lot.
It does, really.
And they're still not under 1,000.
Now let's find out here. Now I'm going to go through have you seen Beaks, the movie?
I've not seen Beaks. I haven't seen any of his films.
Oh,
to my knowledge.
So the second one's Under Siege. I don't remember this one as well. And this one,
I've seen that. That's got Steven Seagal in it.
No, you wish. As much as I'm not a fan of Steven Seagal, you're going to wish that Steven Seagal. That's Stuart Whitman in it, though, who's actually a good actor. But this is a crime one, I think.
No.
I wish my dad was in it right now because he'd probably remember these better than I do. The third one, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen at all. I don't think I've seen this one. And that's, so I'm going to be honest with the ones I've seen, the ones I haven't seen. And this one looks kind of like giallo-ish. So they kind of call it a psychosexual thriller.
Nice.
So there's a chance that we're not going to get animals in this one. So already, aside from Beaks, this is seeming like a less problematic set than the first set.
Well,
there's a lot more problematic stuff in the first set. So I'm hoping. I mean, like some of these movies, some I haven't seen in years, other ones I don't remember at all. Same with this one right here. And I think SOS Conspiracy Bikini, dude, I'm not expecting much out of that one.
Is there animals in bikinis?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. But no, I think it's going to be, it's done in 1967, so I'm not expecting anything like really overly like super sexy.
That could be kind of like what is it called, a nudie cootie movie?
Yeah. A lesser nudie cutie movie is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Like I haven't like this one I haven't seen. Like so I'm going blind with stuff like this, but I'm just giving you like I can't like not like there's a bias right here. I don't like this.
Hi, Alex.
Hey there, Alex, man. But I got to be honest with you because I can't like go out and say, okay, these are films that I feel fantastic about or I feel good about. I feel very less good about the fact that they didn't announce that a Cardona set was
Yeah.
coming. Instead, they just announced that there was a set coming that happened to have beaks in it, which made me think, okay, like, if it was going to be a Cardona set, like, why wouldn't they say it's a Cardona set? Why would they just say, oh, it's a set with beaks in it? And Master Chaos said, oh no, this is going to be a Cardona set. And I said, no, that would be kind of like, it almost seemed like, it would to me personally seem like a bait and switch. Like, oh, don't worry, it's a movie that's got beaks in it, but it's got other stuff too. So if I wasn't going to subscribe, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to subscribe, and they said to me, oh, there's Cardona collection coming. I say, okay, well, I'm probably not going to.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how many people wouldn't have subscribed if they had said it was Cardona.
There's some people that will 100% like are going to be down with this. It's finally shipped. That's excellent, Alex. But the thing is,
okay. Wait, it's finally shipped.
But the thing is that here's the killer part. That they're looking into this, and they're saying, okay, no, this is a set. Do you need me to close the door, baby? Yeah. Okay. This is a set that has beaks. It's our Cardona set. That seems a little disingenuous.
Yeah. Well, I think they've been disingenuous the whole year, to be honest. But yeah.
It's been an unusual, like, there's been changes, stuff that's happened. Like, I still think anybody that's subscribed is like yourself, for instance, is in for like a good second half of the year. I think this will be your weak month, but I think it'll be pretty solid for like stuff that you're going to want. Like at the end of the day, you're still at the Amazon JL1 too. And like there's like the one we'll talk about in a second, which I think is a decent fun release. And if you're a subscriber and you're getting it as a 4K, it's great. It's already built into your subscription price. I do think if you're not a subscriber and you're buying it separately, just myself personally, it's not something that I think is in massive need of a 4K.
Yeah.
Because it comes down to, Malcolm, like, do we always need a 4K or something? Or should we be focusing on certain titles and like?
Well, really, we don't need SOV movies on Blu-ray either, really.
Oh, I feel like that. I 100% feel that.
All they need to do is do 2 disc editions where they put all the extras there instead.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I mean, like when it came to when Intervision changed over Malcolm to a Blu-ray, I was actually very disappointed. I understand what they're doing, though.
Well, what I want to say is this: I feel like Vinegar Syndrome has been really messing around lately, because I look at these bundles and I realise that they're charging supposedly what they tell subscribers. They're charging less for people that buy the bundles monthly.
Yeah. What's the thing? I'll tell you right now. There's like a thing is when you become a subscriber for the first time, that you start looking at things completely differently than when you're just buying them randomly. Trust it. It's this because you spent so much money to go all in that you should be enjoying it. But I will tell you right now, Malcolm, you will look at things like me, especially. I was on this super differently than you did before, because then everything else, like everything changes, because you're a subscriber now. So you're looking at prices differently. You're looking at what's coming out monthly differently. Like before, you're like, okay, if it's a month I like, I'll buy that month. I'll get that bundle. I'll do the pre-order. When you become a subscriber, every month is like, okay, you're looking at basically your balance sheet of like, okay, is this making my subscription price worthwhile? And I think overall it does. And like, even though like the halfway that I was very much I think was one of their weaker halfway years, I still at the end of the day, I'm very glad that I did it, and I would do it again. So if I had the cash, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be bluntly honest there. Thanks, Move Palace. I probably would have done this again, but that being said, I would have done this again only if I had enough money to basically that it was easily done and cushioned, and not that this would not be what my movies for the next 6 months would have depended upon.
I mean, I just want to quickly say, guys, if I don't see your comments, it's because I'm doing it on my phone again instead of on the computer, because I felt like the picture quality was better on the phone and you could hear me easier. But no, what I wanted to say was I feel like they were horrible about the 10 film box set. You know, offering it in May and then saying, oh, we're doing it in November just to get more subscribers for that halfway. Changing everything in the second half where everything was like a box set and multiple things, but then you're lucky if they're 3 items.
We got to be fair to them. Like, we don't know, like, stuff may have happened. So, you know, there may always be issues. Like, with you know, there may have been a reason that the 10-1 got.
So you're going to complain about the Cardona collection of the animal cruelty, but then you're going to defend them on everything else.
No, I mean, like, but this is the animal cruelty is a thing. Like, we know for sure.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. But I feel like they also have to have. You also have to understand that when somebody pays for things, and I mean, as you've said, and they change almost the whole listings, obviously you're gonna have issues, aren't you? You know.
Okay, here's a nice little thought though. Like, so Movie Palace said that if Malcolm did the halfway subscription like you, which you did do, your first sub package was last month, which was better titles. Well, if that's the case, then that is better titles. So we're getting a week August, so a week second month. So I would kind of like, you know, put that.
I've been a yearly subscriber. I don't know if you'll know that, but I'm a year subscriber. So, you know.
So you subscribed in January?
Yeah, I subscribed in January.
All right. I wasn't aware of that.
I think we've got a couple of questions. Alex says, do you think VS will change their approach to shipping sales after this month? It seems a lot of people really got fed up of the wait prices. So soon after the halfway sale as well. I
mean, I'll be honest with you, Alex. I don't think so. Here's the thing, and I'm going to get some hate on this stream, and I hope that's not going to be the case. Because when I say something, remember, guys, I'm just giving my thoughts and my opinion on this. There is a whole like aspect around. I love Vinegar Syndrome, a lot of Vinegar Syndrome stuff, but I do find that there can be a bit of toxicity if you talk critical at all about the company. Like, it's reached that level, and like companies do reach that level. Like they're just in it right now. Like a lot of companies will reach a level where they have like a rapid fan base that will go like strongly against anything negative that is said, no matter how reasonable or unreasonable it is. And you can, which I hope they don't do, because I think that Vinegar Syndrome overall do a really great job with their stuff. They're remasters. They can't be beat. They're really good with remastering. That's one of their key things. Is that you can fall in the trap of, you know, listening to your hype people, and that can be an issue.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there was in Canada a distribution center for Vinegar Syndrome. So, and I know that it was a really good distribution center. They called me, like when things were late. They would literally the guy would pick up the phone and give me a call.
That's because they're so nice.
Extremely good. But now there's going to be a Vinegar Syndrome archive store in Toronto, which is fantastic. Wonderful news, because overall, like still with the stuff Vinegar Syndrome does with their partner labels and all that, it's amazing stuff. So again, I'm not hating on Vinegar Syndrome. I'm just being honest. The distribution is gone, so they won't be distributing. There's no distribution center anymore in Canada, which makes it a bit more problematic, because if it distributes, like if they decide that they're going to distribute from the archive store, fantastic, that's wonderful. Yeah. If they decide that they're going to have an archive store and they're going to distribute from the United States, and we're going to have the same issues that we have when it's Severin and when it's companies like Umbrella and stuff like that, is that you can get hit with, and you know all about this, Malcolm, the dreaded border taxes and stuff.
Oh, tell me about it.
And those can be, like, I used to review stuff from Umbrella, and I don't anymore. They switched the people that they did, but it was almost a bit of a relief, because I probably paid more for the movies with shipping stuff than the movies actually cost.
But surely, if they sent you to review they'd be technically free. So why would they charge you? Why would you get?
They don't charge me. The Canadian Customs Services charge me.
Yeah, but I mean, there would have to be a bit of pieces of, you know what, if they're putting the actual price of the stuff on the package when they were sending it to you for free.
$75, man. That was like an average charge for my for my stuff. Just to get a little bit behind the fan. But there's one more.
What I was going to say to Ax's question myself was, I think they will change it up. I think they'll charge people different tiers like they did at the subscription. You know, if you want deluxe shipping, but they'll do it where it's one of those things where they make it quicker for those people. You know, I mean, as a subscriber, getting your stuff sent 2 to 3 weeks after a sale is a bit, but you know, when you're someone like Alex who had to wait like a month, like a whole month before even knowing anything, it's really bad. And I think it shows that they're doing too much and they're not working hard enough on the customer quality anymore, because I still haven't heard from an email I sent to ask about what they're going to do about damage to my items for hiding in one of my boxes. And I've contacted them multiple times and still not heard anything. I get that there's a sale, I get that there's a big thing, but still, you know, if I contacted them in like 2 months from now about it, then it would seem a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Well, keep us updated, by the way, just for the see when you do hear back, and hopefully you do hear back soon.
I hope so.
Because I will say, Vinegar Sim is one of the companies that I would easily be able to praise when it came to customer relations. So I'm not sure what's changed. I will say this, that I think Brad Henderson was part of the acquisition team, or part of the special features, and he may still do some special features for them actually. But I was iffy when TerraVision started how it was going to go, because I wasn't quite sure with some of the early films.
Yeah.
But with the announcements that I've seen for the upcoming releases for TerraVision, I can easily see people that have subscriptions here, diving over there.
I mean, I have to be honest. When they announced Slashers, I looked to see if they've already put in the store, because I was going to buy 10 copies. That's how excited I was for that.
Yeah,
and I didn't get my 11th one in my package.
I think everything is exponentially grown. Yeah, and it's the thing. As a company gets bigger, there's always these growing pains that happen, and there's going to be things in between. I guess a good example, Malcolm, is let's talk Severin for a second.
Sure.
Severin suddenly kind of took off a little bit, and their sale did. Their sale really started to take off. What happened when the sale took off? Their website went down. It was a massive thing,
and not just once.
Yeah, twice, 2 years in a row.
It cost them a lot of money one year, because they gave $20 gift cards.
It did, but what's even more, if you go back to the years that Severin had those sales, it was their best sales. You look at the prices were insanely good.
Yeah. They were. I remember some of them, and not just that. Maddie,
I'm so disappointed. I'm disappointed in them. I'm disappointed that they didn't just kind of just put them on different releases. I know, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, I may hate. I hate this. There's a bunch of people that actually love Cardona, and are very excited that they're going to complete them. And as it saves me some money, but Cardona has his fans. So people want they'll snap those cases together with magnets and put the 3 of them. So for people that are Cardona fans, and that's not me, but I have to give my honest opinion. For people that are Cardona fans, this is a really great time. For people like me, it's saving me money. But if I was subscribing right now, I'd be like, okay, there's another fridge magnet. Yeah, there's another potential fridge magnet, because this, to me, this is a fridge magnet.
Yeah,
and
the artwork is
in Canada, this wasn't in my shelf most of the time. By the way, it was on my fridge.
Wow, it's on your fridge.
I was keeping up notes and stuff. So there you go. Hey, Jimmy, welcome, man. But let's talk about the third one. I want to get your thought on this. Because this actually isn't a bad release. I'm just not sure if it needed a 4K, but okay. The fact that it's getting one, I'm glad that like subscribers are getting more 4Ks. That I think is always a positive.
I got to be honest, I'd rather they'd done 4Ks of the Amazon Jail ones that they could have done.
I would prefer the Amazon Jones 4K, but I guess it always matters too, like what the what the elements they have are when it comes to these films. Now, Killer Condom is I don't know if it was done. I don't think it was done by Trauma, but Trauma put it out. So it is loaded with features. There's a bunch of features on here as well, different versions of the film on here, new commentary tracks, whole bunch of features from the original release. Trauma usually loads their stuff up with features anyway.
Yeah.
Again, not one for it's it's 71 for its regular price. That's in Canadian prices, by the way. Not one. Hey there, Video Man. Welcome, man. It's been a while. Not one for me. But if I was a subscriber and I saw like a 4K was coming out of this kind of fun, cheesy film, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Like I saw, there's not too much negativity I can give on this one. It's like, again, not super for me, but if I was a subscriber, I think I'd be glad that it was something that's not Cardona for one, and that I could probably sit back and enjoy watching, and would have it in like the best possible like format that you can you can expect. So I really can't give hate. I know people are saying, and I've said it too, like, why is this getting a 4K? Couldn't it just be a Blu-ray? Well, I guess one, because you can. Yeah. And because for people that are subscribers, the more 4Ks that you get with your releases, the better you feel about paying that subscription.
Well, it'd be nice if I don't know how I feel about that, because the idea of getting a 4K of 10 to 10 killer and stuff like that, it feels like, oh, we're going to give you more 4Ks of stuff you don't really want in 4K.
Things in 4K. There you go.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Can you imagine if next month that's what they did? Here's a 4K thing.
No. They'd have to do the whole collection.
Oh, God. No, not that thing. That's Sterling's things. I'm talking about the other things.
That's in his collection, I think.
Oh, no, there's another one, like Canadian one. Like, it's horrible. But he's got a very different version of, like, different things. But let's talk about the good movie for a second. You know a lot more about this one than I do. I watched the TV series. I did not know there was a film.
Yeah, but there was a whole rights issue over them using the same name or something, so they changed it up a little bit and made it instead of Guest House Paradiso. With Vic Mao and Aid Edmondson. What's that?
Alex said that Slate Sidetrack by TerrorVision has his heart with the release of slashers.
That's something we both love and we share the love for.
Excellent.
So I'm looking forward to seeing about the extra features, because that's got a 30-minute extra director's cut on it.
That's a lot of great good stuff. So this was basically, these are the guys from Bottom, right?
Yeah.
Which is a very popular British show, Rick Mayhall. But you said there was like some issue, so they couldn't use.
There was an issue with the rights to their names or something at some point, so they couldn't do Bottom the movie. So they ended up doing Guest House Paradiso instead, and just changed them up a little bit, even though they're basically the same characters. So, it ended up becoming a brilliant movie. Not a lot of people were that keen on it to a degree, I think, in England, because it was a little bit over the top, like over. But I've always enjoyed it and always thought it was brilliant.
I'm sorry, did those people in England ever watch, like, Bottom or The Young Ones?
They did. My cousin,
very over the top.
Massive fan. My cousin, massive fan of both. But he just does not like Guest House Paradiso.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Like,
it looks beautiful. The quality.
In case there's nudity, I'm actually not going to go any further.
I don't think there is nudity. I don't think.
So I like Rick Mayhall. Rest in peace. Simon Pegg's here. Big Bill. Is it Nighy? Is that how do you pronounce that, man?
Bill Nighy.
Nighy. Thank you. I always wonder. I always get it wrong every single time. I say it differently. Vincent Cassel, the French actor, is in this.
Yeah, he's in it. He plays an angry ex-boyfriend, pimp, gangster, I think. If I remember correctly.
That sounded cool.
So he basically plays himself, you know, what he does in the horrible movies, you know, like from the French films, I mean, not his actual self, but.
And I think, like, here's the thing. Like, here's a good thing. You're going to get this for 50% off, so that's always good. That's good news. But remember, guys, when they give you 50% off coupons, it's not 50% off the sale price. It's 50% off the MSRP price.
Yes.
So it'll be 50% off the $44.75, not the $31.20. People tend to get that confused, so I do try.
I think it cost in UK pounds about 14 quid.
This is not too bad at all, actually.
Yeah.
Here, we'll just switch it over for our UK people over there. So there you go. So 20. Yeah, that would be about right.
Yeah. What's this? We've got some
comments.
Television releasing Black Code 1 and 2. Most important, Bay Puma's Devil Sword has me stoked. I'm happy about that. I just wish I didn't buy the Mondo Macabro DVD like 2 weeks ago.
Now, I want to go into the partner labels, but before I do, you picked up some stuff recently. You got some stuff come recently, so why don't we show that out to the people?
I did. Let's show some off. So I got The Eagle Has Landed.
That is a gorgeous looking set.
Yeah. It's got 2 cuts of the film. It's got the original vertical cut and it's got the extended cut.
Imprint, that's a gorgeous release.
Luckily, I got this just before it went out of print. I picked up. No, that's not part of that. I picked up this big, massive 25-disc set of The Secret Life of Us.
Wow.
I had no idea what this was about. It's just about relationships, basically, between 8 people. And there was a set of this released in the UK. I believe it was just season 1, part 1, maybe part 2 as well, but not all 4 series.
That's a massive set.
And I love Australian TV shows, so I was like, I'll grab that.
Yeah, me too.
I picked
even used to watch Home and Away.
Exactly. Where are we? I'm trying to get these together here. I like the bill, so I picked up Beach is Back.
Oh, really?
And Burnside.
You know, I haven't seen Beach is Back.
You've seen Burnside, though? No, you've not seen either of them?
I got to see them. Actually, oh, no, well, there's a lot of stuff on behind now. You know, I just recently watched Dalglish.
Really?
Yep, yeah, the updated one. It's really good. I didn't know. This all the time, man.
Yeah.
Like between that and watching stuff that's newer, I don't get to watch a lot of TV, unfortunately. But
but yeah, I've got the first 14 seasons of the bill as I grew up watching it.
I got the first season.
And Don Beach is one of my favourite characters ever. So I love him in EastEnders as well as Johnny Allen. So,
oh God, yeah, he has one of the best, like one of the best deaths.
Oh yeah,
and also
enjoy your trip.
When he killed, that is so good.
I love that. So calm.
He was such a good character.
He was.
For those who don't know, he was like a gangster character on EastEnders. He was a really good gangster character too.
It's funny because I liked him and I liked Andy Hunter and all this. I missed the gangster days in the show. Let's see. I got Tangled, the complete series, which is another Australian TV show.
That looks interesting, actually. That's something I would watch.
This contains strong material, apparently.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's always funny for me because I look and I go, oh, that kid's in Home and Away, that kid's in Neighbours, you know?
Yeah.
Then I picked up a show you probably know, The Enemy Within.
Okay, yeah.
It got cancelled. It got cancelled after one series, which was quite depressing because it was actually quite good.
I like Jennifer Carpenter too.
Yeah, she's great. She was great in Dexter.
She's fantastic in Dexter.
Fanny Hill, the miniseries from 2007.
This one I don't remember, and I've seen a lot of Fanny Hill.
Yeah. This is from 2007. My wife actually said she watched this, but obviously she meant the older version. So, so I picked that up. I got The In-Between, which is basically kind of like Ghost Whisperer, but with like a detective helping solve murder cases, where she talks to spirits and all this stuff and goes.
At least an episode.
Do you think you've seen an episode?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see. What else is there? I've got a couple more things.
Is there like a TV sale?
I got The Messengers 1 and 2 on Blu-ray.
I slightly remember that.
You remember that? I don't remember these at all. I got another thing here. I got more TV because I've grabbed TV more than anything. The Oath Season 1, which stars Sean Bean, Katrina Law, and what's the other guy's name? Ryan Cranston, the guy who played Vinny in Home and Away.
So I'm gonna guess I'm gonna put a thing in there. Sean Bean can kill.
I think he does because he's not in the second season. So
See,
I've got.
He does in everything.
He does get killed. The guy's. I think that's his. I think that's kind of like like he's kink.
Michael Biehn does that a lot too, man.
So I picked up Ginger Snaps the trilogy because I don't know if you can get the trilogy.
Is that on Blu-ray?
Yeah, it's on Blu-ray. So I don't know if you can get the trilogy anywhere, but I know you can only get number 1 from Shout Factory.
I have the Canadian Alliance. It's on DVD though, by Alliance Atlantis trilogy of it, and and everybody that I showed it to from like the US and that were super jealous. And now it's on Blu-ray, which is fantastic. I love this.
And I got this from Arrow. This is a recent release from Arrow. This is the 4 Films Noir Classics Volume 2.
Volume 3.
Oh, yeah, Volume 3. I keep saying Volume 2 because I got Volume 2 still, but I need to get to. But yeah, Volume 3. And this has what I call the female slapping collection. So Calcutta has Alan Ladd slap a woman in the face. And the female animal, you have a guy spanking a girl. So since I haven't seen the other 2, I'm hoping there's more of that. I support smacking women. And I don't mean like violently, I mean like on the bum.
That's a good one. If I was a new company in the UK, Ginger Snaps would be the first set I'd release. I agree, Alex. That desperately needs to be got. I would love to see Arrow do it.
And I picked it. I got 3 4Ks, not in that cell, but today in the mail. The first one was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, nice. I saw that in theater.
You know what's sad? What's sad is I've never seen this film. Even my wife has seen it, but me, nope, never. So I'm looking forward to watching that blind because everybody else sees it. I haven't.
The only creepy part. Oh, I like Mike Coulter. Like he's like obviously Luke Cage to me. He's always going to be Luke Cage.
Yeah. And 65. So they were in the 2 for 30.
Going back to Ferris Bueller for a second, the only creepy part about Ferris Bueller now, and I love the film, is that the guy that plays the principal, his history, right?
Yeah.
So watching him like chase after teenage Ferris Bueller takes on a whole new like perspective after knowing that stuff. So,
what comments? We've got some comments. What are the comments? Mal, you really should open your own library.
Yeah.
Buddy, you are Blu-ray DVD king. You told me you only got a few bits. LOL.
He's got more coming. This is not all, Alex.
No, it's not all of them. I've still got tons more coming in the mail, but I'm lucky. My wife fingered, so I've calmed down. Today, I was shocked by like what was announced, which we're going to get into later.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, why do this to me?
It'll still be there. Most of that will still be there.
Hopefully.
Before we go to the partner labels, let's go to Umbrella.
All right, let's go to Umbrella.
I kind of want to chat about what's coming out with them. We'll come back to the partner label aspect of it.
Yep.
So let's go right to here.
Oh, yes.
Come on. Anytime now, my friends. So for those that don't know, a while back, Umbrella put out in the Beyond Genres release this movie right here, Possession. Utterly fantastic film, which I absolutely adore. And there's the other cover thing for it.
I'm surprised you haven't got the other set, the big one that came out in America.
Actually, I missed out on that a couple times, to be honest with you. So this was actually a review copy. Like, guys, this was sent to review. There's a bunch of features on here. I'll be able to see if there's any different features as we go through. But this one is a set. It's a 4K UHD plus the Blu-ray plus a rigid case plus a slip case plus a book plus art cards.
It's 120 pages. The book is 120 pages as well.
That's not bad at all. $100. Actually, $100 isn't too bad for that then.
No.
So here's the. We'll get into. So it looks like good. So they have. So the new stuff is a new audio commentary with film historian Sally Christie. It's on the 4K disc only, and a new video essay by author and film historian Alexandra Hellier-Nicholas. I love her stuff. It's on the 4K disc only as well. And everything else, I guess, will be stuff that's been ported over from the other stuff. And I already had a bunch of stuff, including 2 cuts of the film, by the way. It's got the uncut and the U.S. cut of Possession on here. It is a great release. I think it's a fantastic film. I know it's not for everybody.
It's one of Alex's top films.
It is like a fantastic film.
I think he went and watched it at BFI.
Is this the only release we're getting, or is it getting a standard release too? I know we can get the Blu-ray, but is it going to get a standard 4K release, I wonder?
The standard 4K release is already on there.
Is it there? Is it?
Yeah, it's already on there.
Perfect. Because that was my issue. It was like I was wondering, like,
it's $40 Australian dollars.
And we got basically they're redoing their Dune. They're putting in a new set of Dune. This is a bit pricey. I know it looks really nice. So it is Frank Herbert's Dune and Children of Dune. So for those that are unaware, in between the Lynchian Dune and the Dune that came out recently, there was 2 TV movie films of Dune, or kind of sci-fi films that were a bit closer to the books. Actually, a lot closer to the books. There was Dune and Children of Dune.
But there were mini-series.
Exactly. And they came out, like, as they say, in 2000, 2003. My better half was a massive fan of the books, was a huge fan of these. She loved these here. So it is again, this came out the year that I was reviewing for them. It came out the month before I started doing reviews for them. They put out either a DVD or Blu-ray copy of the films together, like a Dune collection. But this is different. This is like a big set. So we got a Blu-ray, a brick set, a rigid case, a book, art cards, and a poster. So let's kind of dive into
750 odd pages. You have to put it together yourself.
Yeah. 4 Blu-ray discs, 75 plus brick facing. Okay. Some people are going to massively love that, though. 160 page hardback book. Would you buy this, by the way?
I thought about buying it for my wife.
She's used Dune fan too?
Because she loves Dune. Dune's like her all-time favourite thing.
Oh, our wife's me.
But unlike me, my wife would rather probably just have the discs. Don't get me wrong, when Mist was re-released on disc, she wanted the big book one in the Kickstarter, and I got it for her. It's somewhere. But what I'm saying is, with this, I think she'd just be like, So no, I didn't pick it up. To be honest with you, it's not got the best of the miniseries is not the best anyway. So,
see, I liked it. Yeah. I really thought it was way closer to the book than we got from the original film.
Well, my wife was the one who made me watch them, and she said that they looked cheap and tacky, and she didn't like them.
Well, you gotta understand, it's sci-fi. But as far as it's done, I thought they did a good job. Like, you got to take in context. One, it's not a theatrical film. Like neither one of these are. They're, like you said, they're TV miniseries on the Sci-Fi Channel. The guys that brought you Sharknado. But that being said, at least for people that read Dune, it was like, oh, okay, so now this is pre, like the ones coming out now. This was people are able to say, okay, I like the Lynch film for what it was, but finally I'm seeing my books on screen.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, I think it was a big deal.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good that that's there, but, what I'm saying is if I'd have bought it for her. So.
Well, same here. Like Maddie said, if you getting your Devil's Sword from TerraVision, and your Mondo needs a new home.
Oh, well, that's good to know. That's good to know because it was very frustrating seeing the thing.
And here's the other release.
I bought that.
Godless.
I picked that
Eastfield
up.
Exorcism. Did you?
Yeah. I was like, I've got to get it. It looks amazing. I just love the slipcover. The slipcover literally made me jump out of my bed and run down the stairs.
That's a cheap one too, actually.
I was actually surprised because the standard version is $24.99. So it seems like, why would you even bother buying the standard when you can buy the...
Yeah, it's $5. The slips looks amazing. They're getting better with their slip covers, by the way.
Wow. Alex says, I saw it at BF5. Alex says, I saw it at BF5 with my boyfriend last year. His reaction was almost better than the film.
Godless trailer looks good. And the other one that's been released is Shine.
Never seen it.
I haven't.
But it was already released. Because when I went down the thing, it was already there. So it must have put some new extras on it.
Why did they announce it again then? Or is there this new release for it?
It must be a new release. But
well, this won't be the same time. Like Possession's been released before. Like some of the stuff on Vinegar, obviously in Vinegar Syndrome, was released before. I think for me, Possession is the big release, but I have the Blu-ray and the features are good enough that I kind of want to upgrade to the 4K. I won't right away. Like it's not something where I need it on. It's not a day one for.
What people need to know is if you've never bought from Umbrella before, if you click on the present in the corner, what you can say, and you put your email in, you'll get a 15% off code. That's what I did when I got my other stuff.
Oh yeah, when I said okay, I'm going to buy some stuff from Umbrella. I haven't done it yet. I worked it out because the shipping's high. Like just to let people know, it seemed to be best for me if I had enough money to buy like a larger amount, that the shipping almost evens itself out. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't think the shipping price is that bad either. I mean, I was charged when I got all the stuff I got. It was like $20 shipping. So it wasn't too bad.
How much did you buy?
I picked up a couple of things. I picked up Possession, that set, the $100 set. I picked up Alvin Purple 1 and 2 on DVD. I picked up Cut, and I picked up Godless.
That's not too bad. I mean, like that's a few. That's like you're getting like 4 or 5 things. If you buy 1 or 2 things, then sometimes you end up paying the exact amount for shipping that you do for the release.
Exactly. And, so I always believe if you can, you need to put as much as you can in to take that price away.
And I'd say let's go to like something I'm actually very excited to see, and it's made me. And I said this to you before we came on camera. 101 Films is making some big strides.
Yeah, they are. I was shocked.
I would have been until it's the following, and the following made me think. And not only that, there's a steelbook.
Well, when they pushed it back, when they pushed the following back, and then I saw the date of this one, I was like, oh, that's why he did it, to try and sell both at the same time.
So in reality, I've done steelbooks before. Like I don't have a lot of their stuff. Not in the UK. So has 101 Film like delved into steelbook range before?
I don't really know. I don't think so.
I think it's the first steelbook black label, like as far as I know.
Yeah, but I think what they're doing is they've learned from other companies because they started off with Ghostwatch and that, and Johnny Memento or Jim Morrow.
Ghostwatch is still such a good release.
And now they're doing this, so they're slowly upping the prices and trying to get it to probably second sight level, I reckon.
And this is a good start. Look at this. Look at what's there. Like
I do love the steelbook. I love that steelbook cover.
Yeah, and I'm not. I've said on this channel many times. I've said to you, I'm absolutely not a huge steelbook person. It's got to be a good steelbook to get my attention. This is a nice looking steelbook. This is 100% a good looking steelbook. And it's number 31 in the black label.
You get a lot of stuff in it.
A ton of stuff. Like get here. So basically, we get the rigid book package, the steel, rigid box, steel book, a booklet 1, Remembrance of Things, Time and Memory, Christopher Nolan's Memento. Booklet 2, Jonathan Nolan's Memento Mori, short story. Replica Polaroid art cards. Love the way they got that done because that's important for the film. Printed notes and Ferdy's beer mat enclosed in Leonard's folder, plus a second disc featuring the chronological edit of the film, which I know Criterion had on their release. What was Criterion? I think it's Criterion.
Yeah.
And we got a bonus, brand new special features here as well. We got Remembering Carrie-Anne Moss on Memento, director Christopher Nolan on Memento, Memento Mori, writer Jonathan Nolan on Memento, Memories producer Emma Thomas on Memento, A Leap into the Unknown producer Aaron Ryder on Memento, Musical Memories composer David Joylin, probably pronounced that wrong, Memento, and commentary with film critics James Mottram and Sean Hogan. Then we have archival stuff with Memento Chronological Cut, which was mentioned up there before, Remembering Memento, Anatomy of a Scene, the IFC interview that they did with Christopher Nolan, and a director's commentary as well. This is a loaded set, and for $39.99 pound-wise, it is really good. Though I do have to say I do agree with Alex that they are kind of all over the place with their structuring for what they're doing with their black label. It will be nice to for them, especially where this is their big label, to figure out exactly where they want to put this. If they want to make it like big boxes or steel books, I do love a steel book. But maybe with the fact is this is a rigid steel book inside of a rigid one, Alex, this that'll keep that uniformity to what we're seeing. But I would suggest that from here on out, every one of these black labels, if you're going to do a black label, make sure it's a rigid box with some stuff in it, because that sets it aside from everything else. What are your thoughts?
I think if they stick to doing it this way, it'll look better and you'll probably get more sales. Because I actually think the standard ones, where they're in the white boxes with the disc and the disc case and the book, actually look terrible for the most part. So I'm kind of glad they're going in this direction, because it feels like. But saying that, those white ones, the white black label ones, and the standard things were only like $16.99. They shoot on sale very quickly to $9.99. So, it depends on how much you want to invest in media. Will this stay in stock? Will this sell out? It's a big title, really. So I think it could. But I'm glad that it's getting it, because I've wanted to own it for ages. A
lot of lesser 101, what we'll consider 101 film releases have, not lesser, but maybe not as big as Christopher Nolan, have sold out. Look at the Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is, that one sold it pretty quickly. I'm sure they're flooded, like Finnegar said. It's definitely flooded with stuff right now. That's when I guess you got to start looking at, okay, are you a lot like response and stuff like that. Yeah, at least I guess the one good thing, Malcolm, is but not getting a response yet, is I'll say this: at least you haven't got a Severin level response from the back in the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Because remember those?
To be fair though, I'm hoping that I'll get a response. If they replace anything, they can put it in my next shipment.
Yeah. No,
otherwise I'll have to wait even longer.
But do you Alex is worried that they've gotten pricier. Hopefully they won't be this pricey. I'd guess that some of the cost in here is ate up with the steelbook. So my thought, and let me know, do you think Malcolm and Alex put together peanut butter and chocolate, but basically is this that there's a portion of this cost is the steelbook.
I'll be honest with you. I would have been happier. I don't know if the elements there, but I'd been happier if it had been put in 4K at this price. Because I feel like $39.99 for just the Blu-ray is a bit excessive now. You know, I'm not complaining because I'm happy it's released. I love the style. I love everything about it. But I just wish it was 4K disc, maybe with a Blu-ray disc as well, instead of, do you know what I mean? Because it feels like Steelbooks now of Blu-rays are not as pricey as they used to be, in the sense that I bought, the last few that have come out that I bought have been like, what, like 10 to 15 pounds when they've just been Blu-ray.
You know, that being said, like when it comes to some of the Steelbook stuff, we're looking at like 101 Films, which is definitely a smaller company than like some ones that can put out like definitely the more bargain like Steelbook stuff, or like Zavvi, and even Zavvi stuff gets expensive at times. So I'd say another option, and maybe
a lot of Zavvi stuff. But a lot of Zavvi stuff that comes out now is 4K. So you know, it's, I don't know. I think $29.99 would have been a better price for a Blu-ray of this. But the thing is, there's so many Christopher Nolan lovers out there, they'll buy it anyway, you know. So, yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things that's just going to probably sell. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want a copy because I like it. I just wish it was in 4K.
Well, here's the thing. All my Christopher Nolan stuff that's not on DVD, like that about years back, is on 4K. Yeah. So part of me like really wants this set, and a part of me wants to wait and see if it's going to come out in 4K.
There's got to be,
because like there's a uniformity to that. I've got like, you know, all the other ones are in 4K. I got the Batman films, Christopher Nolan films in 4K. I've got like Interstellar in 4K.
I just feel like it's better nowadays with releases of films like this, where they should do like a Blu-ray 4K thing instead of doing a Blu-ray and then 2 years later there's a 4K. But then if they did that, it won't make as much money. So,
well, I guess like there's still people that are like, there's a lot of people that haven't moved over to 4K, or that, you know, they're not just at that spot yet. So this is definitely a good release. It's a good, like, it's a good set. I do think that it could be priced a little bit cheaper. But I understand where they're a smaller company, maybe there's a larger overhead as well for doing something like this, as opposed to like Zavvi or like Paramount or someone like that. So that might have kind of ate into a bit of the cost as well. This is a really nice set, and probably one of the best sets we're going to see on here. As much as I like that Lego Dune set, this makes more sense for why it's on there. The folder in Memento is important. The Polaroid thing, all important to the film. A Lego set is cool, but it's not exactly important to the film. I did actually, Paul. So Possession is being put out, and I'll actually shove it on the screen for you, just in case you haven't seen it. It's being put out here by Umbrella Entertainment. There's a standard edition apparently, and there is a collector's edition. It's getting a new 4K release with a Blu-ray, a rigid case, slipcase, book, art cards, poster. A book now that's what, 120 pages, right?
Yes, 120.
With a hardback, a brand new audio commentary that's on the 4K alone, and a brand new video essay by Alexander Hellier-Nicholas, which is getting a 4K, which get released on the 4K only. So if you're a big fan of Possession, then it's something, Paul, for you to definitely check out there.
It's going to be an amazing release.
And let's just see. Let's do this. What are the Vinegar Syndrome partner labels? Amazing. I'm going to tell you this right now, Malcolm. I haven't looked. As you know, I was a bit perturbed by the Cardona collection. So I did not go back on the website until. So this is going to be my virgin look.
Well, I'm going to tell you boy a secret here. I bought all the partner labels, and I don't remember what they were.
Okay, so here we go. We're starting off with the Yellow Veil, a company that I do find intriguing. And we have Tower. I love the cover, by the way. It's a
lovely cover.
A Bright Day and Monument. So what have we got here? Shall I do the dramatic reading?
Do the dramatic reading.
Let's do this. Let's do this really quickly. Mola lives with her family in the country. Just before her daughter's first Holy Communion, Mola's sister, I'm going to say Kaja, pays them a visit. Kaja is the biological mother of the girl, but she suddenly left with a trace 6 years before. The family believes in reconciliation, but Mullah believes that Kaja has come to take the child away. Meanwhile, a series of peculiar metaphysical events take place, and Kaja's presence triggers changes in people. Mullah's fear grows, and she wants to get rid of her sister. Yet Kaja has come for a reason. Also, a group of hotel interns wake up in an ice-cold van. They don't know each other and have just arrived to do their internship. The strict manager of the hotel numbers the students. Real names are not relevant. There is no place for individuality here. As you work through greenlit corridors and empty rooms, things become increasingly eerie. What exactly is going on here?
Sounds good. Sounds really good. When did it come out?
It looks like 2017, 2018. This is a really interesting.
That's two films, right?
They usually have like newer releases for Yellow Veil.
Nice.
I still haven't seen Knocking yet. I got to watch Knocking, but it's in Canada right now. But it's a 2-disc release, so there's not all on one disc. You're getting behind the scenes stuff. You're going to get 3 short films, storyboard to scene comparisons as well, interviews with the director.
Me loves me some short films because when I'm tired at night and I've got nothing else to do, I'm like, I'll put these on and go to bed.
I've been very intrigued by Yellow Veil, and I'm hoping that this is a company that really kind of
yeah, because they released all those other ones, didn't they? Wachowski, is it? You know, the manuscript and the other one.
I think so. I'd have to check, to be honest with you. There's a second Yellow Veil coming out in the same month.
Yeah.
Which?
Oh, it's funny because somebody said, I read about this. They said that you should watch this back to back with the Afghan title. You know, the Walkenwood one. You know, the one with the
the set thing, the Hollywood type one.
They said you should watch them together because that goes well with. I can't remember what the second movie is called on that disc, but they said it goes with that.
I have either seen this or I have seen. I think
you saw it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Let me read here. Dramatic reading. This has been like action movie type of thing. Like they make action films or something like that.
Yeah,
Setting
it's a documentary, I believe.
Yeah, this documentary follows 2 men from opposite sides of the world who come together over shared love for Chuck Norris. Isaac, a former brickmaker, decides to pick up a camera and start shooting his own 80s-inspired action epics, which are hilarious, by the way. And Alan, a film nerd from New York, gives up his life in America to join forces with Isaac after seeing a trailer for one of his films online. Against all odds, the 2 unlikely friends have catapulted Hollywood to worldwide stardom with their own gonzo action movies, bringing joy to millions of people across the internet. This is a fun as heck documentary, by the way. I do remember this.
Well, I'm going to definitely watch it with the one that people suggested to because they said you can't get a better understanding, you know, of like how far they've come and stuff.
Oh, yeah, because you look at the special effects, like Malcolm, and it's like, it is so much fun to see stuff like that.
It's not good, but it's fun.
Utopia.
Ooh.
Give me pity. Already sounds a bit on the depressing side, but there we go. A primetime Saturday night network television spectacular starring Sissy St. Clair. Sissy St. Clair graces the small screen for her very first ever television special. An evening full of music and laughter, glamour and entertainment. But Sissy's live event quickly begins to curdle into a psychedelic nightmare of vanity, insecurity, and delusional ambition, provoked by the glowing presence of a mysterious masked man. Do you know this one?
I think I'm. Oh no, it's new, isn't it? It's 2 years ago. No, I probably don't then, because I thought it was older, you know, from what you were reading. But no,
I don't know this one at all. If somebody like in the chat knows it, like let us know. But it sounds interesting, sounds intriguing. But I absolutely no. Maddie said that the Uganda one sounds like the son of Rambo, but with adults in real life. Yeah, it kind of is actually. Trust me, that documentary is going to be fun as heck. It's really fun.
I'm glad I ordered it.
It's a really good one. You made a good choice, man.
We've got an umbrella one as well.
Here's an umbrella one. Death in Brunswick. I'm Canadian, so I always think New Brunswick, but obviously not that. And again, 1991, you might have seen this one. So let's do dramatic reading of this. What accent is that? Oh my God, I have no idea. Royce's roller coaster of murder mayhem set in multicultural inner Melbourne. This hit Australian comedy thriller stars Sam Neill as Carl, a 40-ish no-hoper who takes a job as a cook in a seedy nightclub to escape his cantankerous mother. A flirtation with fetching barmaid Sophie was engaged to the nightclub owner lands Carl on the wrong side of a vicious bouncer. But when attacked by his drug-dealing Turkish kitchen hand, Carl inflicts a grievous form of self-defense that sparks a deepening gangland feud. Best mate Dave is soon employed as Carl's protector and gravedigger as a band of cutthroats block Carl's path to his bartending sweetheart. Sounds fun.
I've seen that.
Have you? This one I don't know if I've seen.
I remember the story. I don't remember very much, obviously, in detail, but I remember it enough to go, yeah, I remember this. Because if I remember correctly, Sam Neill's fairly young in it.
Oh, yeah. Like in 91, would have been a much younger Sam Neill then.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so, yeah. Yeah, from what I remember and the thoughts I'm getting, it was a pretty decent film.
A lot of features on here too, so you're gonna get some good stuff here. It's nice to see that you've already are utilizing your 50% off code and you're finding stuff there, because that is one of the big pluses to being a subscriber is that the coupon code. It's incredible.
Well, I can tell you right now, for the most part, I've bought every partner label that's come out.
And there's been some excellent stuff that's come out from the partner labels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like this is definitely a cool release. I do think that whoever wrote up that description for it wrote it up to be almost tongue twister-esque.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got an SOB Satan's Call one.
Which one? The
Satan's Call one, which is Bloodlust: The Adventures of Sergeant Lunch, is it? Or Lunch?
Yes, the next one. Did you order this one too?
I did.
This one looks unique, I will say.
I actually really like Satan's Call stuff. I don't know why, but I just have a tendency to always pick it up.
I'm not going to lie, I usually go more towards their, I got the documentary, but I usually get more intrigued by their horror slasher stuff as opposed to some of their like action-y stuff. But I think my better half would probably really enjoy
My thoughts, Paul, on Guest House Paradiso is it's worth picking up. It's a fun British comedy, over the top, violent, but in the comedy sense, and it's a lot of fun. If you like Bottom, you'll love Guest House Paradiso for the most part. It's a little bit more disgusting at times because of what you see on the slipcover, but I would highly recommend it because it's one of my favourite British comedies of that kind. Where it's physical humour and kind of like, I tell you what it reminds me of a little bit. It reminds me a bit of like Three Stooges and the old kind of Buster Keaton stuff, in the sense that if you had the comedy timing when it comes to the physical humour, you could really work it. Now, it's not for everybody because, not everybody likes this stuff, but I recommend it. It's up there for me.
Perfect. Alex, have a great evening there. Thanks so much for coming in, man.
Hey, thanks for popping in, Alex.
All right, so let's find out what this one is about. They've got so many this time. When wrongdoers and lawbreakers are on the prowl, there's only one man for the job. Meet Sergeant L.T. Lunch. With over 300 arrests under his belt, Sergeant Lunch is revered by his peers, beloved by his community, and a prominent subject of interest for local ace reporter Mary Lowdown of the Daily Tattletale. That is, until Lunch's vengeful and envious twin brother, Feast, constructs the ultimate killing machine, a superhuman Terminator-esque cyborg known as the Annihilator, who marauds through the city manning and mutilating innocent citizens. To make matters worse, Feast has disguised himself as his do-gooding twin and committed acts of robbery and murder in order to sully Lunch's good name. With his reputation tarnished and his job on the line, Lunch must do battle with the Annihilator and put an end to Feast's reign of terror, once and for all.
This sounds great.
It sounds unique.
I love the SOV films because they always seem either really childish, like fun, kind of made up, what kids would come up with, or they just have a lot of heart in them, but just make you laugh and enjoy them.
Well, like it says, like shot during downtime by a group of friends stationed at California's Fort Ord military base in 1991. So, it could be a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah.
Sergeant Lunch. And I got up, Sergeant Lunch, Sergeant. Like, and his evil twin brother Feast. That's fantastic.
I love them.
And getting into something that looks very different, though. Film Desk is back with Vengeance is Mine. And this one is from 1984. So there's a good chance I've seen this movie.
Cool.
Returning to her East Coast childhood home to heal old familiar wounds, Jo, played by Brooke Adams, finds her adoptive mother withdrawn and distant, and half-sister has successfully escaped the cold clutches of their family. Impulsively, Jo enters into the troubled life of the neighbors, befriending a couple whose marriage is collapsing under the weight of alcoholism and mental illness. A melodrama without the traditional indicators, Vengeance is Mine, originally titled Haunted, I knew I saw this movie, is a considerable more pointed continuation of Romer's previous insights on fraud. Oh, it's Eric Romer. Oh, Michael Romer. Okay, I was going to say. Though completely different in tone than Nothing But a Man and The Plot Against Harry, Vengeance is Mine forms a trinity of utterly original works confronting the inevitable complications within the American family. I don't remember Nothing But a Man and Plot Against Harry right now, but I know I've seen this one.
Yeah. I think I've seen it. I think I saw it a while ago, obviously. But
I will tell you why. I was a big fan of Brooke Adams.
Oh, okay. That's probably why then. I think my mum owned it. She had quite a few of those kind of films.
Are you saying I've got your mom's taste in like some movies there?
Yes.
Friend here, have a good evening at 12:30 a.m. See, over here, it's like already 4:32. So it's
full.
Kind of even. Yeah. Factory 25.
Ooh.
The Catechism Cataclysm.
I like that cover.
That's unique, eh?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Actually, yeah. No. Here we go.
Here we go.
Father Billy, an eccentric young priest, is forced to take a sabbatical by his superiors when he is discovered telling inappropriate parables to his flock. Billy tracks down his high school idol, Robbie, who begrudgingly agrees to a canoe trip. On the water, the two men reminisce about Billy's days as a keyboardist in a Christian band and Robbie's as guitarist for a metal band. When night approaches, they realize they have lost their way. And that's when things get weird. I always get nervous, Malcolm, when I'm reading about a movie about a priest and they say, and that's when things get weird.
Yeah. Well, we know what that normally means.
I'm sorry. You were thinking it, man.
I was. I did it all in my head. It was there. Actually, I probably thought more about it than you did, actually. Oh, this is fairly recent, this movie.
Yeah, 2011 or so. Let's imagine, that's like, what, like 12 years ago, but for us, that's recent.
Yeah, because it's got the guy in it from Eastbound and Down in it.
Oh, yeah, it's David Gordon Green's production company. It's Trophy's Pictures. So yeah, would have.
Yeah.
Triple X page booklet. Oh, maybe there is something about it.
Oh,
you never know.
Yes, the Triple X page booklet. That's
he
why
has
I like
to take
to
a sabbatical. Hey, forced sabbatical.
Yes.
Just saying.
This is going on. This is going in first when I get it.
Don't fall in love with yourself.
It's been very hard for me not to do.
I know. When I look in the mirror, it's just like, no. Don't Fall in Love with Yourself is a documentary that explores the life of enigmatic musician and artist Justin Pearson. From childhood tragedy to his rise in the San Diego punk scene, Don't Fall in Love with Yourself takes an in-depth look at a career made out of blood, sweat, and spit. Much of the footage has been sourced from dozens of VHS and mini DV tapes recorded over the past 3 decades. With never before seen footage of one of the most interesting and unique musical moments in recent memory. So sounds like an interesting one, especially if you're a punk fan. It's going to be something that's going to be in your...
I like the documentaries. Sometimes you're just in the mood for it, you know?
Oh, like it's... I'm a documentary. I'm a documentary horror. honest about that type of stuff. And I'm guessing you got all these, right?
Yeah.
Did you buy all these?
Yeah, I bought all of them. This one I actually heard about on I forgot on a podcast. Can't remember who it was. I think it was Disconnected. Was talking to the people who ran Death Crocodile, I believe, and they were talking about. And this was taking them quite a while to release this one, and that got me excited because they actually named it. So when I saw it dropped, I was like, "Ooh, because I've been really liking Death Crocodile stuff lately."
Oh, they put out some interesting stuff. And for those who know, Disconnected does put out some really interesting interviews and stuff on his channel with different people from different companies. He's been very good with stuff like that.
I've not seen this film, but it looks really good.
Okay. Damn, why there's so many that I've got to read. A crime is a crime, even if committed by kings, intones the narrator, director Joseph James, I'm guessing that's pronounced, animated portrait of the supposedly heroic age of medieval knights and kings, a sprawling and bloody tapestry of ruthless combat to rival Game of Thrones, based on an epic narrative poem by 19th century Hungarian writer János Arian. Totally wrong pronunciation. Heroic Times has unique visual style, combining gorgeous oil paintings and 2D animation similar to the Japanese anime Belladonna of Sadness. Stylistically, this film is closer to sweeping medieval sagas like Alexander's Ilya, I'm not going to say it, John Borman's Excalibur, and Ralph Bakshi's underrated version of Lord of the Rings, by the way, which also needs a new release.
It does.
Tied together by Battleware.
I reckon that's going to be in the box set from Mega Syndrome, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and the Foreplay trilogy.
100% no, but I wish. I would love to see that. I mean, my better half's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. She would buy that in a second, Malcolm. So, what are your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts on that one is I'm really excited about it. I put my money down for it, and there's a few companies I really like at the minute. Death Crocodile, partner label companies. Death Crocodile, Satan's Core, Afghan, Altered Innocence, and Umbrella. But to be honest with you, I don't really consider Umbrella as a full partner because I could just buy from them anyway. You know what I mean?
I was actually going to ask you this afterwards. But you answered my question already about the partner. What's your favorite partner labels are?
What would you say yours are?
I'll give mine after. I'm going to make people wait.
All right.
There you go.
All right, there we go.
CIP, Canadian International Pictures, presents Dream Life.
Dream Life.
And this one is the 50th anniversary edition. It's from 72, so I'm going to guess this is from Montreal. This has got to be a...
Is this Canadian
French? Oh, yeah. All theirs are Canadian. The first film directed by a woman in Quebec. Fleet-footed and generous debut moves effortlessly between filmmaking styles and tones with the boundless energy of a young director in love with the medium. A path-breaking portrait of female friendship and interiority.
Yeah.
Dream Life is one of the highlights of 70s Canadian cinema and a vibrant hidden gem primed for rediscovery. I think I might have seen this.
I can't believe you haven't if it's Canadian.
Yeah, I kind of to be honest, Malcolm, sometimes I see them even when I don't want to.
No.
when you're young, the last thing you think about, when you're especially movies from your own country, you don't take them as it's a big movie. You think, oh, another Canadian film. And
exactly.
It's true. Once you start watching stuff later on, you realize, oh my God, we kind of did some really awesome stuff.
It's a lot like the Rise of the Foot Soldier series over here, A lot of people would go, oh, what trash, but we love them.
What's known about the Mysterious Vinegar Syndrome box set? As far as we know, Maddie, there's 10 movies. It got pushed back because they found even better movies, is what was said.
That's a lie. I reckon they lied about that, but yeah, go
on. we'll know soon enough. What month is that getting released again?
November. So Black Friday is supposed to have 16 movies released.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
So we'll be interested to say if they actually do it or not, because it's also supposed to have the prophecy 1 to 3 4K, and I think three other ones. So we'll see. If they
Well, the
don't,
Prophecy is a decent one.
what's that?
The Prophecy is a decent one. That's a decent 4K release.
Yeah, it's decent. I just wish they'd have put all 5 in it, even though only 3 of them matter. It would be nice to have the other 2.
It was understandable why they didn't, but I agree with you, actually. I would have loved to see all 5 of them on there. As I say, sadly, about the we still only got the first 3 Vice Academies. Though I did see on Facebook, somebody said that they were working with Rick. There's a company working with Rick Sloan, so there's that possibility.
Ooh.
Can't get too much into it, but fingers crossed, guys. So it's hopefully. Can you imagine if it's like, and it's the witchcraft movie starting at number 7? Like, Malcolm be like, no.
I'm just glad that it's movies that we've never had released before, so that it's not like you're double dipping. Because a lot of people are worried it's going to be like 10 years of the best movies.
Yeah, no, the 5 years, 5 films was a good upgrade release for those.
I have to be honest. I would rather them put movies on multiple discs than on 2%, like they did with the 5. I'd hate if there was 10 on 4 discs.
Well, we don't know yet. Like, could be 10 on 5 discs. Like, could be double feature.
That'd be more acceptable. But I keep hoping they make it like a nice bigger set, but they're not going to do that, are they? So
you don't know. I mean, this is their anniversary year, so I do expect them. Maybe I'm naive, but I do expect them to kind of go all out with this.
I hope they do, because that'd be awesome.
Because I've said some fairly kind of negative things, that's the truth of the matter. But I'm trying to be honest with my stuff. I don't want to just kind of Pollyanna over everything.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really hoping, and that's just kind of, it's my personality, that this is going to be where they go out and just go all out. And
I think it would help if I actually knew how much the box set was going to be realistically, not the stupid price, but the normal price, because that way we'd know what kind of box set it'd probably be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued. If it's a nice box set, I'll be honest with you, I probably will pre-order that that November bundle.
Yeah.
But as you know, I'm trying to hopefully save up money for a certain thing.
I mean, they've told us prophecy, so I doubt they're going to tell us until the date the site actually opens for it. Updates for it.
I think we'll know on the pre-order.
You think so?
I think we'll find out when the pre-order happens, and the only things that are going to be left as a surprise will be the secret titles, as always. We're going to know pretty much, or a nice bit about that box set.
So that'd be in September, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So when September pre-order comes up, I think that's when we're going to learn. We won't learn much more till then. They may give some clues coming up to it as they get ready for the pre-order, because the pre-order is when you want to get everybody that never ordered, that doesn't have a subscription. Anybody that's not a subscriber, you want to get them for the pre-order.
That's true.
And because the pre-order is they're buying a massive amount. It's going to be and you want to get as many of those big ones out of the way as possible. I do think that there's going to be some interesting stuff there. So, fingers crossed with all that. We got 2 more. I just realized. Yep. I thought they were all done.
Yeah, we got. What's interesting about the Africa one is it's got 9 films like Doris Richmond. So that's exciting.
That is actually. I can't wait to get that one actually. So, name above title and Other Tales of Woe by Carlos. Name I'm not going to pronounce right.
Loads of shorts on here.
The world of Carlos C. is one inhabited by handsome characters exploring the boundaries of limitless pleasure, romance, politics, and even murder. Murder, Malcolm, murder.
Murder.
Before unleashing his breakout narrative feature, Tommy Guns experimented in the realm of short and medium-length films for many years, crafting films both beautiful and transgressive alike. Collected here are 6 short films headlined by the medium-length and nearly dialogue-free film Name Above Title about a handsome serial killer that unexpectedly catapults into social media fame. What do you think, man?
I think that sounds great. They look well shot.
I want to see if I can get a couple pictures. Hopefully, there's nothing to. They look extremely well shot.
They do, don't they? Oh, I like that one.
All right, we got one more to check out. It's a set. I did not know that. It is Terminal Generation, the films of John Moritsugu. We'll go with that. A force of nature since 1985, underground icon John Moritsugu, in partnership with wife Amy Davis, creates candy-colored genre rides that feel like NC-17 sitcoms from outer space. Moritsugu's fearless proto-punk deconstructions function as a giant middle finger to everything from racism to gender expectations, while also exploring themes of Asian American identity. Terminal Generation, the films of John Moritsugu, collects these joyous trash art ragers for the first time on wildly released home video. From My Degeneration, a do-it-yourself answer to Beneath the Valley of the Dolls, to Terminal USA, an ultra 90s team crime berserker that was funded by PBS. AGFA is honored to present sparkling new restorations of Moritsugu's essential work. I'm sure someone's going to come on after and tell me I totally butchered his name.
Not bad, because it says from 1987 to 2013. That's actually quite a good range.
It is. We got like My Generation, Hippie Porn, Terminal USA, Mod F Explosion, Fame Whore, Scum Rock, and Pig Death Machine. Unique titles, to say that much right now.
I'm glad I got this. This is the highlight. Obviously, by the titles.
It'll be interesting to see how this one plays across. I like the.
How many do you think you'd have picked up then? Like, if you were going to pick them up?
Okay, let's do that. Actually, that's a good thing to do. So let's just say I had like a bunch of cash there, which I would have picked up both Yellowville pictures.
Cool.
That would be for certain. I probably would have grabbed Death in Brunswick.
Okay, so that's 3 so far.
I would have grabbed Vengeance is Mine for sure. I remember that one.
Yep.
I grew up on punk music, so Don't Fall in Love with Yourself would have been a buy for me.
Okay.
And I would have grabbed Dream Life because I'm Canadian and I love Canadian cinema. Yep. And I think, in all honesty, as for like day one pickups, because I want to do this as in like, okay, these are the ones that I would pick up day one.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff I think is interesting. I might wait on the sale price. The thing is, here, you don't have to wait. You get sale price already.
Yeah.
So that always helps when you're looking at this stuff. But for me, if I was paying like full price for releases, those are the ones that I would probably go with.
Okay. So what was that, like 6, 7?
It would have been altogether 7 titles with a maybe on Heroic Times. I probably would have picked that one up, if not just for myself, for my better half. So 8 titles altogether, and 7 for me and 1 for him.
8 out of 12 isn't bad.
So that is, it's not bad. And I'll give you my favorite partner labels. I said I was going to do that at the end of the, well, not the end of the video, but here. So let's bring up all the partner labels. Let's do that. Come on. So labels. You can see there's a whole bunch of labels here to choose from. Sadly, Culture Shock and Fun City editions I can no longer include, as well as TerraVision, because they're no longer with the company. But for me, for some of the best releases that I've seen, I have. I'm going to see how many there. Because I want to have some that are different than yours too, just to have a bit of variety.
Yeah.
And but they had to be films that I like or companies that I would buy, and it's going to be based for me upon companies that I would like to have either all of their releases of, or I'm very intrigued by the stuff that they put out.
Okay.
So CIP, aside from being Canadian, there's actually a lot of good films in that collection that they've put out. And I would absolutely 100% adore and would be blown away to have every one of their releases. There's some amazing stuff there from my childhood, some stuff like I just think people should see cinematically if you're studying cinema. Another company that stands up and interests me is Yellowville. Yellowville, I just like what Yellowville has been putting together, and they've put out things that are newer but are intriguing.
Yeah.
And along that same line, Malcolm, Utopia is there. And Utopia still has put out one of my favorite releases of any partner label. And it's can you guess which one it is?
Let me say. Pearl and Champagne. That's it now. Oh, it's that one.
It's Shiva Baby.
I'd never have guessed.
I'm a huge Rachel Sennett fan. Everybody knows that. But I do love this movie. And this is the reason I became it. But when you look at the pictures here, there's For Mad Men Only, which is a great little documentary. I really like that. Martha Picture Story is one I still really need to pick up. There's some really interesting stuff here. Champagne is interesting. They just have a lot of releases that just at the very least intrigue me. Give Me Pity is one that I find interesting. Yeah. And for like another one, I want to see if this is the one. The Catalog has titles that interest me.
Oh, they've had some really great ones lately.
But I tried to pick companies that you didn't already pick. If I was to pick anything that you already picked, then AGFA would have been definitely on that list. And maybe Saturn's Core, but mostly for their horror releases as opposed to some of their other stuff.
I think at the minute I have all the Saturn's Cores, all the AFGAs, and I think almost all the Altered Innocences, because some of them are quite hard to get.
Altered Innocence has some really great stuff. Either way, that's the thing. Like, there's some great partner labels here, and for me right now, and I'm going to say this, like, I'm going to again, and I'm trying not to be negative. Like, the partner label releases are much stronger than the Vinegar Syndrome releases this month. There's just so much out there, so much goodness. And I think what hurts it even more is the TerraVision releases are just so good.
Yeah.
And that being said, for some people, Cardona Collection, which has a very nice cover, I'll give it that. It's got a nice cover, will be everybody's jam. I think Amazon Jail 1 and 2 probably is one of the best kit covers I've seen them do in a long time.
I think the two best ones from their thing is Gestas Paradiso and Amazon Jail 1 and 2. No, Gestas Paradiso is in the Vinegar Syndrome Labs section. Do
you remember Amazon Jail 1 and 2? Because I feel like I've seen them, but I don't remember them.
Don't remember it. I'm sure I probably saw them on VHS, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
But I can't remember enough to go, oh, yeah,
Absolutely gorgeous cover, probably one of the best they've had in a long time. And even look at the back of it. Here's one. I'm going to say this right now. Like, there are rare slipcovers, not rare, there are slipcovers that Vinegar Syndrome does that you just have to have.
Yeah.
And Blood Games is one of those. And, obviously the Lenticulars.
Deadly Weapon. And
Deadly Weapon. Yeah. And the vampire one. It's almost like a white slipcover. I got it over there, actually.
It's Pale Blood?
Yeah, Pale Blood. What an amazing slipcover. Shot is another one where you look at it and you're like, okay, I can't wait. I want the movie. But, even if I don't like slipcovers, this is one where you look at slipcovers. I'm so excited, Maddie, for you to see Shiva Baby. I want to know your thoughts on it. Send a message to Fun City Editions. They will have all the releases on their site at the best rate. Perfect. Did you notice that the Fun City Editions Volume 2 for televised, their Primetime Panic box set, it's not a set like the first one. It's a slimline case.
Oh, that's kind of.
Some people are going to love that because it saves space. Other people are going to like hate it because they're going to hate the fact that that uniformity's gone.
Yeah, I kind of hoped it would be like the other one.
Now think of it like the best way to put it is if you've bought one of the Forgotten Jelly box sets before.
Yeah, and then you bought the one after.
Yeah. So let me just see. I'm going to see if I can find something. I'm going to bring you on the screen while I do something here. You can chat with our crew.
Yeah.
So let's see if it's on. I'm not going to say the other word.
Does anybody have any questions?
Feel free to hit up Malcolm when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So let's dive into this. Ready for it?
Yep.
Ready for the review?
Oh god.
So this is volume 2. You can see it right here. So it's a slimline set. I'll give you a little bit of a better look at it because they do have some better picture for the booklet. I absolutely adore this booklet.
That looks great. The booklet looks amazing.
Freaking fantastic. Like any doubts that I have about the slimline case, I have nothing about the booklet. I really want that. For those that don't know, you can order it right here. If you on Funch Editions themselves, if you're not ordering it from MVD, I'm very excited about this release. It has The Death of Richie, Incident at Crest Ridge, The Seduction of Gina. Hey there, Gina. Limited edition slipcover. So we'll have a slipcover. So that's kind of
interesting. Oh, I'll have a slipcover. That makes up for it then.
Yeah. Reversible sleeve featuring legacy and newly commissioned artwork. Trailers, newly recorded audio commentaries by Sam Deegan. Oh, yes. Amanda Ray is perfect. Dino Prospero and Jonathan Hertzberg. So we got some good commentaries coming out there.
Yeah,
and a booklet with a new essay by Lee Gambin. So some really great stuff there, guys, and something I strongly recommend. TV movies from 1977 to 1984. There we go. My opinion is I was at first iffy on it, the same as Malcolm was, but the slipcover and the booklet has me completely sold on it.
I think the booklet, because the other one didn't have a booklet, did it?
I don't think so. I got it over there, but I don't think it did.
Yeah, if it's got a slipcover and it's got a booklet, it kind of makes up for not being in the box, because you can tell they've still made an effort.
Malcolm? Have you seen the movie Malcolm, the Australian film?
Oh. Yes, I did. I've seen it quite a while ago, and I really liked it. I thought it was a fun movie, and I actually want to get it on Blu-ray at some point.
Umbrella put it out. It's a really good release, and I definitely recommend it. That's one I got during my review period, and I watched around 4 times. So absolutely fantastic film. Where we're at here, why don't we look? Let's look at Funch Editions for people that stayed around. Let's give them a bit of a show. So we got Femme Fatales here. Oh, sorry, Fatale Femmes.
I like that. That's a lovely cover.
This looks cool, man. 2 films there. We got. It's a bad word. But yeah, nice. We got a reversible sleeve here, a limited edition slipcover, trailers, image galleries, new recorded audio commentary by Sam Deegan. She does commentaries for both of these. Nice. Fantastic booklet with new essays. Jessica Felrich, Stephen McFarlane, Alexandra Heller Nicholas. I love her writing write-up, so I'm really excited about that. These are ones that I look forward to.
Yeah.
These are ones that I want to get.
So far, it looks like they got some good stuff.
They do. There's a copy of Morven Collar there. love the look of that, kind of the old school look, almost like a Vestron video style.
That Party Girl one sold out fast.
Oh, yeah, it really did. That was their first like independent release, actually.
Yeah, sold out really
Post
fast.
Vinegar Syndrome. Well, it's Parker Posey, man, and Party Girl's a fantastic movie. So yeah. Loads of features too. I love the fact that they got booklets in their a lot of their releases, most of the releases. And
that's what I think's missing from imprint releases, to be honest. You know, on their Blu-rays.
So, here's one for you, man. Cafe Flesh, the soundtrack. Just look at that.
Oh yes.
Look at that cover, man.
Oh.
The cassette is sold out. So.
No.
And as you know, like MVD, like the visual is going to be releasing a lot of their stuff, but they were putting stuff on their own website as well. And as was mentioned here by Maddie, their Funds Edition is going to be putting like all the releases on there.
Nice. Do they ship internationally?
That's a good question. Let's find out. Let's see if there's an FAQ here for that. So let's see. We'll go to one of the movies, for instance. Let's say I go to a pre-order. I don't know.
There's no country there.
It says country there. It says country there.
Oh.
So that's a possibility, though.
Okay, I'll have a look later.
What you'll have to do is you'll have to order me this movie here, right? And I have one copy for each room in my house.
Oh, yes.
And there you go. Then we'll know for sure.
Yep, we'll know if it does.
I love Australian comedy. I have a weakness for like Australian comedies too, and some of the most like inappropriate Australian comedies. You ordered Elvin Purple, which is a perfect example of an Australian comedy that I have a weakness for that a lot of people aren't going to like.
I always like the other one. You know, the one with Melvin, son of Alvin.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I grew up with that film.
Though it's always like, what's the word? Always seemed like kind of gross to be gross. But when I was younger, especially, it was like, it was like it hits your inner 12-year-old.
Yeah, it's true. I just love the bit with the purple pill when he goes, "I want a woman." He picks up a really elderly woman, and she goes, "Oh no!" as he slides away.
Such an awkward, like, looking dude as well. Like,
yeah. Oh, there's so many scenes in that I could talk about, which make me laugh.
There's the English have a ton of those, like, just kind of those fun-bodied comedies like that. I like the Carry On films and The Adventure of a Plumber's Mate and all this type of stuff that I just grew up with, obviously, and affected the humor that I have today. I grew up with, like, I lived in Canada, and half the stuff we got on CBC TV was British programming.
Yeah.
So we'd have like Monty Python and Minder and like Doctor Who and like a whole bunch of stuff like that, like the Sweeney.
Yeah.
Which sadly, a lot of people obviously over there, they didn't have too much of that stuff. Oh, we got our first donation of the day. I want to thank you so much. And we're going with Creepy Face. That is one of my favorite masks, by the way. I got to get my other mask. I got to do luchador mask. So I got to do ones for that as well. So I'll put those in before the next video. So those that want to donate, that'll be coming up in our next in the next one. So if you be ready. There's something I was going to ask you though. As I was reading. So I was reading before I got on I was reading a book that doesn't exist before we came on here, by the way. I was reading some quality, like, novel. I heard, like, let's see if I can, let's do this. Are you ready?
Yep.
A dramatic reading of a Brad Carter novel. Let's see how far I can get into this before I have to stop, because this is not a Patreon stream. It was Thursday night, which meant Ramon would normally be sitting on his couch, beer in hand, watching the wrestling matches on TV. Maybe later, if the beer hadn't killed the urge, you take a spin through the pay-per-view channels and see if there's anything worth. And there we go. As far as I can read. But yeah, something that doesn't exist.
I don't know what they saying that for before it went off. Because it was a good while, wasn't it?
Stranger's Kiss, 1983. Fancy Edition is also teased. Candice Bergen, James Caan, and Peter Boyle is coming soon.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Did you notice when Umbrella, let's see if it was on here, made their announcements? Was Umbrella? No. When Black Label made their announcements, that they said this, coming soon to the Black Label range. And let's see if anybody can pick out what this is.
Oh. It's a little bit blurry for me.
So it's a kid wearing like a mask with a Mickey Mouse like a shirt and a cape.
It
So
seems
anybody
familiar.
has an idea what this movie could be, feel free to put it in
familiar.
the comment section. It does look familiar, but I can't place it. How about Mr. Jealousy on Blu-ray, and now and again the complete collection on DVD.
Nice.
Good pickups.
Imprint is supposed to be announcing today as well. I don't know if they've announced already.
I've been looking here to see if they did their announcements while we've been while we're on here, because I can obviously go to it. But I'm not seeing a lot. I mean, like, wait a minute. No, this was like before.
William said, please show again.
Okay, sure. I love when companies do things like this.
Yeah, me too. Like when Indicator did it with the turkey shoot picture.
Yeah. But let's just see. I'm going to just go. So Imprints, 8 hours ago, they talked about Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle. I'm going to guess those, and career opportunities, which I think were already like things that were
they've already
before.
been released.
Yeah. You can order them now, actually. Well, you can pre-order like Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, but I think that's August releases. We're waiting for the September releases.
I bought them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Are those some of the ones that you're waiting for?
Yeah. There's some ones I'm waiting for from August and that and Prophecy collection, because I bought it before I knew they were releasing it.
Which is absolutely fantastic stuff. When my dad was watching, they had to go get a haircut. So
he says.
I also need to get haircuts, yeah. But and you wouldn't think so.
You're getting a bit of fluff on your head.
Well, it's the thing. Like, I have like not a lot of hair. Like, it's shocking. I know it's no, you wouldn't believe it, but that's the case. But here's the thing. With that, with not a lot of hair in my head, what that also means it has a mind of its own. It literally every hair when I wake up, every hair. Like I get up in the morning, I gotta get directly in the shower. And even then, by the time I walk downstairs, it's like wee. I used to watch. I remember Jennifer 5.
I remember that.
Jon Favreau was famously cut out of Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle. Oh, poor Jon Favreau. I think he did okay.
I can't believe no one knew what that picture was, even us.
Did you hear? As we'll do some like talk stuff here. It looks like we're getting a Wonder Woman film under the new DC with Gal Gadot.
Oh, nice! And we're going to get that's the third one, right?
Well, it ought to be the third one, or maybe it'll be like a kind of a relaunch with the same actress.
It'd be nice if they did the third one, considering it was going to have Linda Carter in it.
I think they can still put Linda Carter in it. It would be nice if they kind of relaunch it, kind of maybe a bit of a soft relaunch, because let's forget the Wonder Woman 1984 happened.
Yeah, that was awful. It was awful. I watched it and I was like, what's going on? And I still bought the Steelbook.
And it's like, oh, well, I buy it too, like Gal Gadot, man. But I'm watching it and I'm like, even then, I'm looking at my better half like, why didn't they just have like Steve Trevor come back, like since everybody's like things, rather than put him in some other dude's body? That just came out as really weird.
It's very creepy.
It was super creepy.
And Cheetah Girl was awful.
Oh, I like the actress that played Cheetah. I like that actress.
Oh yeah, she's.
But I just wish they would have done more with it.
In a wig.
It was missed potential is what I'll put it. One nice thing though, we found out that going forward, the DC animated films are going to have theatrical releases.
Oh wow!
So that's also big news for people that watch a lot of DC stuff. And I have a lot of friends that'll say that they don't like a lot of the older DC movies that came out last couple of years, but they swear by their animated stuff. Like it's the best stuff they put out. I agree. It's the best stuff they put out. So it'd be interesting to see.
I think some of it's good. I don't think all of it's amazing, but I do enjoy watching them.
I mean, like I'll put it to you this way. I will watch every single Justice League or Batman animated film before I will rewatch either live action Justice League movie.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And I do think that the Zack Snyder cut is the superior cut of those two films. Yeah. But that's the thing being said. If somebody puts a gun to my head and say, you got to watch a live action Justice League, I'm probably going to go with the inferior cut because at least it's 2 hours shorter.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Yeah. And now, recently, he said that, by the way, I'd really love to put in my director's cut of Sucker Punch. No. Just no. I don't. And offer people can like everybody can like what they like and all that type of stuff. That is a bad movie.
It is really bad movie.
It's fairly objectively a bad film.
I hate that movie.
Like it's more of Sucker Punch. Hey there, and ready, welcome, man. More of Sucker Punch. Not
great cast. Such great cast, but it just sucks because it's rated 12.
And I don't think more of it is going to make it any better.
No.
If anything, cut it down. Let me, limit the pain. Yeah. Like limit the pain a bit.
Awful movie.
And here's the thing: he's a guy that I think is a nice guy in real life. I do think that this whole like cult of Snyder has maybe affected him a bit.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because this guy does, and like I'm not a huge fan of the DCU stuff. I like some of it, but I do like some of his work. I do think he's a talented director that has a very uniquely visual style. I don't think he should ever write his own movies. No. And I will say the exact same thing about Rob Zombie. I think Rob Zombie it does, like as much as people want to crap on him, he's a talented director that has a great visual style. I don't think he should be writing his own films. I think somebody has to be in that room when Rob Zombie is writing a film or something like that and just slap his hand. Like no, like with a dog, when you say when a dog's being bad or something like that, and you got to say like, no, don't do that. Someone's got to be in there for like Rob Zombie and Zack Snyder. Like, that's too much. That's too much slow motion. That's just too much.
The last Rob Zombie film I liked was 31.
Oh, see, I was the opposite, man. I hated 31.
I must have been in a weird mood that day then because I just really enjoyed that over anything else he's done. I loved the first 5 minutes of 31. And I felt like I can understand that, yeah.
It just went downhill from there. I'm like, wow, Richard Brake. I really love Richard Brake. This character is really interesting. Where the hell is he at? And then in the last 5 minutes, he's back. And I'm like, okay, so I could watch the first 5 minutes of this movie and the last 5 minutes of the movie, not missed anything in between, really. But no, like there are people that love 31. one of my favorites is one of the most hated Rob Zombie films of all time. I'm a big Lords of Salem fan.
I get that.
And a lot of people hate that film. But I just think it's the most original film that he did. And definitely more folk horror style. I love that stuff.
Nothing ever will beat the pain of watching those Halloween movies in the cinema.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Go on.
I was going to ask you if you remember the when the first one leaked online.
I remember that, yeah. And I still didn't do it. I still went to the cinema. And it ruined it. It ruined for ages. I thought those two movies ruined my life. I literally came out the cinema each time with my head in my hands going, there's nothing else to live for there. They've destroyed my precious Michael Myers.
For me, For me, it's like, I remember going to the cinema for H2O, and everybody's everybody's saying like, oh, this is the end of Michael Myers. This is the end of Halloween. And I was like, have you ever watched one 5-minute interview with Mustafa Akkad? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's amazing the Halloween films that almost were. I know that Quentin Tarantino wrote a script. It's also definitely his Italian horror movie. I wrote a script for a Halloween film, and yes, I did. Back when I was writing, I was working with a very.
Was that what turned into the Halloween Works parody?
No, no. What actually, the way I had it done, because obviously it's not going to happen anytime now. But it was after 5, I think. It was before the revelation of the Man in Black, and I did it, and I put it out there. I remember because I pretended to be my own agent at that point. This was before I actually started writing a lot, and so I got it to them. But in my version, so for those kind of curious, kind of want to know, the Man in Black was someone totally different. It was Brackett. I had Sheriff Brackett be the Man in Black, and I introduced him to kind of seemingly be a Donald Pleasence character that's kind of getting revenge on. And if you've seen the actor that played Sheriff Brackett, you know that around that time period he kind of looked kind of similar. But I had Brackett as the Man in Black, and I'm trying to remember the reasoning that I had for it at the time. But I think I went a bit darker, and it had to do with his daughter. So
okay,
and then he wanted her dead.
Oh,
so because Brackett in the first film always had this kind of like there's just a creepiness, like when he bumps into like Laurie and he's got the everybody deserves one good scare thing, and I kind of went with that. And I most people are going to watch this and hate that idea. But hey there. But that's what I went with anyway. Obviously, it never got done. But I had Brackett as the bad guy. But I thought Pleasence would have still been around at that point. So where did I put Pleasence? He was in it, but it was a different role. Because I really focused more on Brackett, and I didn't kill off Jamie. I had her kind of she lived. So I would love to get a hold of that script. Actually, it was it was 100 odd pages. So
for those, not bad, the script.
So for when you're writing, guys, a page is around a minute's worth of timing when we went for script. So it was around 100 odd minutes, 100. So probably about around 114, 150 minutes.
Well, I remember seeing H2O at home and with my mum. It was on TV. It was on Channel 4. And we were like, when's he going to kill someone? When's he actually going to do it on screen? Why is he sneaking by O.J. Cole instead of killing him? What's going on? And I just remember I was just sitting there going, what is this? And then we watched then she saw Halloween by Rob Zombie, and then she was like, "Yeah, Hey Show's not that bad."
Also, I'm one of the defenders of Resurrection, which is objectively not a good film. But I just
it's
enjoy
bad,
it.
but at least it's fun.
It is. I mean, it's and at the time before Rob Zombie took over and stuff like that, it was going to happen. What they were working towards was putting Halloween straight to DVD, making the sequel straight to DVD. Initially, before Paramount sold Friday the 13th, that was a possibility for them to bring the Friday the 13th films every year or two and put them out straight to video, which I think is actually wouldn't have been a bad idea considering what we got instead.
Well, I mean, I will say this: having seen how popular the Chucky TV show is, which surprised you. I never expected that to be a great TV show because I didn't know how they'd do it. I have to be honest. I feel like they could actually make really good TV series on all these killer characters.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Speaking of killer characters, there's more big news, and I want your thoughts on this. Scream 7 is official.
Ooh.
And it's not Dead Silence.
Oh
no! So what's their name again? Radio Silence. Sorry, it's a new director. So
well,
it's Christopher Landing, who directed Freaky, and Happy Death Day, and Happy Death Day to You.
Okay, so there could be a little bit more comedy in it then.
That's what people are saying. But with that being said, on the writing side of it, they were more comedic, definitely more comedic. But on the writing side of it. He's also the writer for Paranormal Activity 2 and 3, and 4, and the marked ones, which isn't the good one, but 2 and 3 really are. So he does have, although his direction has been more towards the comedic range, his writing has definitely been more towards the darker range, because Paranormal is one of those series where 2 and 3 actually kind of outperform the original film, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think I agree with you on that. I mean, I ain't seen them in many years. I've got the collection, and I watched them, and I think the first one is actually quite dull compared to the others. The marked ones is just stupid. It's like really what was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, I think Scream 7, did we know if it's going to have Neve Campbell in it?
Well, if we never got it back for the last one, it's going to be different. I kind of feel like I'm going to be in the minority here. I kind of feel they told her story. She has a nice out. She's got her kids. She's married. She married the guy from part 3. She's got a happy ending.
Yeah.
You would really need a big reason to bring her back.
They did feel, to be honest, they did feel like they kind of shoehorned them into their new ones.
Exactly. It was, I understand, they brought him back to pass the torch. But I like these new characters a lot. I really like the twins, the two, the brother and sister characters.
Yeah.
Definitely, all us horror fans relate to those guys. Congratulations on Romeo's Bleeding, by the way. It's a fantastic film. But I would... I'm curious. I'm interested in where they're going to go with it. I wonder if it's a different director, if it's going to move. Is it going to move? I hope it doesn't move away from the characters that we got now. I hope it goes with that. So for those that are knowing, it wasn't a breakup between the company with Radio Silence. Radio Silence is doing a Universal horror film.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have time. So that being said, will there be already a script kind of in the works?
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting because it's when the trilogy not trilogy, I don't know how long it's going to be, but when this version started, I was like, oh, it's not that great. And then they really mixed up Jenna Ortega and her sister's character in the films. And it's kind of made it kind of exciting because you don't really feel like there's any real good people in either side in a way, even though there is.
I really enjoyed when Radio Silence, the first Scream film. And I'll tell you why, because as a YouTuber, I enjoyed the heck out of part 4. It scared the hell out of me. because it like it hit home, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You
Yeah.
could see that like actually happening, and so Radio Silence of Scream calls it Taku fandom basically, and they do it with. I don't want to give away the character,
No.
the killers, but like even though there's been another sequel, but I think I really like the guys that played the killers.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good job, and I thought especially one of them I liked so much because the character was so likable.
Yeah.
I knew he was the killer. I didn't want him to be the killer, but I was so glad when he was because I knew that it was going to be it would be good. And the reveal of the first killer is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Because it is just so freaking sudden. Now, that being said, the sixth film, I very much enjoyed, but the
I thought the ending
killers in the
twist
sixth
was
one,
the
yeah. And I felt that the main killer, well, we'll say main killer, the elder of the killers, seemed like he was acting in another movie than everybody else.
It's true, he did, didn't they?
Like it was like they were like there was a self-referential humor and jokes and stuff that you normally have, but they were pretty serious. And then all of a sudden, when and I like this actor, becomes like is introduced as a killer, it's like the 1960s Batman series.
Yeah.
He's like it's like Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Returns. Like everybody else is doing a pretty serious role, and Tommy Lee Jones is like whacking it up more than Jim Carrey. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I really enjoyed the movie. I knew, like I guessed almost immediately who the killers were going to be in that film.
Yeah.
Like not even wasn't a, like even though with that extra twist, no, that was one I immediately knew. But here's the thing: people always wonder, well, Scream movies, but you always do. You always like guess the killers. Like in the original Scream film, Billy Loomis, he's the killer. Like they try to like swerve you off it for a bit, but they pretty much just put it out there that this guy's the killer. If there's any shock at all, it's Matthew Lillard's character. But I absolutely love I love all the Scream films except part 3 I have issues with. My daughter loves part 3, but I'm not a huge fan. That's my least favorite one.
I like part 3, but I don't think it's one of the better ones.
What always kills me, it's the voice changer thing. I can't buy it. Like the script wise, it's not super bad. Like script wise, there's a couple like glaring things, but the voice changer thing always gets me out of it. Well, I miss the Scream voice. I miss Roger Jackson.
Me too.
Apparently, Jimmy, Alex's order finally shipped. So
yeah, finally.
And he's an unsubscriber. So there you go. So, what's your nationality?
I'm.
If you don't mind telling.
Well, I'll be honest. I am. I'm a bit of a mixture, really. I'm part Scottish, English, and what the hell was that? Oh well. Scottish and English, I'd say, but mostly English. But Scottish comes from my family's side. My mum's side was completely Scottish until like going down from my great grandma.
Okay.
And then my dad's side is English. But yeah, that's about
it. For me, for those that don't know, sorry for me, Canadian, I'm Mi'kmaq, and on my other side, I am, I guess, I'm. What's the word? The right word? I very I guess different roots when it comes to that. And also, I'm pretty sure that the characters from the Tintin books, Captain Haddock and Tintin, came to life, like somehow had a child together, and it's me because I look like the love child of Tintin and Captain Haddock.
You do, actually. It's true.
There you go.
You do look that way. Just give me a minute because I need to talk to the wife a minute because I think she was knocking on the door.
Oh, go ahead, man. But yeah, we actually talked a bit about the, as you know, Jimmy, the Vinegar Syndrome stuff at the 101 Films. We spoke about the releases coming from Umbrella, some great stuff there. I've been hoping that while we were doing the stream, I kind of extended it a bit in hopes that Imprint would release their announcements. But I have yet to see anything for Imprint for any of the announcements that are coming out for there. Oh wow! I got. There's been apparently there's been a bit of a some who did John as the end said that if you're a Patreon creator and confused as to why a bunch of your income vanished, it's because Patreon's system appears to have totally collapsed. They sent an email saying my credit card blocked the payment as fraudulent and canceled all of my creator support. So if you're a patron, someone that's a patron, check that out. I think my Patreon usually goes through on a Monday, and I think it worked out okay, but I'll definitely have to look into it. I'm looking here to see if there's anything from Imprint as well. I'm not seeing any announcement for their newer stuff, which is the last announcement is still their August releases. I had expected one, but I think maybe they'll do it on Friday. Now, for those that don't know, I want to say now I will be not here over the weekend. Because I'm going to, we're probably going to Essaouira, and that's I'm not sure what the internet connection is like there, so I won't be able to do any live streams over this weekend. If I can, I'll try to do some updates. Everything okay? Hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah, everything was okay. Just the wife wondering what was going on and everything. So
I kept you too long again?
No, it's not that. It's just that she was getting a bit hungry, and I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll order the rest
we're
of the
done now. I know we finished everything up here, man.
I would ask one more question though, because of our other thing. What do you think of the Saw 10 trailer?
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I was very worried. The last one I saw was Spiral, which I thought was okay at best.
It wasn't Saw though, was it really?
It really wasn't. But I really did like what I saw from Saw 10. Obviously, this is a prequel. Some of it doesn't
it's between 1 and 2, isn't it? Because I know John
have to, because it wouldn't make sense if it's not. Because of the absolute last second of the trailer. You know exactly what I mean when the mask comes off. But if it's not, then there's a bit of a continuity error. Like it wouldn't be the first continuity error in like a Saw film. But we got him back, and that's the most important part.
It made me sad actually, because I looked him up and saw he was 80 years old, and I was like, how many more Saws are we going to have him for if they keep making him long? Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, well I'm sure that's the reason they actually originally put in another killer for the Saw films, and then had him go off the rails. And at first I wasn't too big on him. Then we got to, I think, with Saw 5, and there's this sequence where he becomes like really good, where basically he's with I think it's the FBI agents, and they realize.
Oh, and he kills them.
Yeah, like there's a spark where they realize it's him. And then he just switches. And that was my favorite scene that he ever did in the entire franchise. That is just such a good scene.
And apparently he's coming back.
Is he coming back?
Apparently they said, welcome back, Detective Hoffman on thing, which I don't know how I feel about that, because surely it wasn't. It's weird because the continuity, like you said, it's weird.
It's hard to tell with his character because we know we don't meet his character till a ways in, and we know these are working.
We know he was around in Saw 3 when John was on the table because he changed the notes over.
Yeah. And which was a bit of a retcon itself. Oh, but yeah, I'm very excited about the new Saw film, and I expect it to be very good.
Yeah, it's just great to see a lot of Tobin Bell in it. You know, because it makes it. I liked how the style was a lot like the first one, where it was just dark and gloomy, but you knew it was not what Saw 3D became. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you really want to see, just from the trailer, you want to see these people die.
You do.
You do.
I can't believe it. I can't
spirit.
believe it. When it started and it said they'd conned him, and I was like, what?
I'm like, and like first I thought like maybe they were kind of like bringing him back, or like actually retconning like his whole death thing, maybe doing a switch where they said, oh no, there's a place you can go that's gonna fix, can help you, can save your life and stuff. And then they see him there. It's like, yeah, absolutely, they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing for you. I was like, and this is a trailer, man. I'm like, damn, I am so there.
That trailer was packed solid with like, well, especially considering they couldn't show too much violence in it.
Oh, it is such a good trailer.
I'm definitely going to go to the cinema to see it.
It got me excited. There was another trailer that came out too. I think it was for one of the superhero movies. Where I haven't been excited for like some of the stuff recently.
Blue Beetle?
No, it wasn't Blue Beetle. That was.
Was it Kraven the Hunter?
No, I don't. I have no idea. I'm worried that's going to be a Morbius. I really think it might be Morbius.
You think so? Because it looks good.
I know. So did you see the trailer for Morbius? It was awesome.
Yeah, that did look good. You're right. It did look good.
But no, what's Marvel coming up with now? Is it the Marvels? Maybe it's the Marvels. I'm not sure if it's the Marvels or some. I think the Marvels looks really freaking good. They've made me excited for that film.
Are you hyped for Deadpool 3?
Which one?
Deadpool 3. You hyped for it? With Hugh Jackman wearing the actual yellow suit?
Sort of. I mean, like, I hope it's really good. I like Deadpool. I was okay with Deadpool 2. It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 felt like a little bit of a loss of the original in my view.
But I do think that they should do good with Deadpool 3, especially with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together.
But they're doing X-Force as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Here's the thing though. I just recently saw Ryan Reynolds like in a movie. Went back to watch. What's I watching? Oh yeah, remember Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like that TV show used to come on back in the day. So there's I'd realized that there'd been a movie pilot like before the series, and that I hadn't seen. So with Melissa Joan Hart before the series became a thing.
Yeah, wasn't one of the sisters different?
Both of them. Both are different. Like Salem's completely different. Like voice actor and stuff. Everybody's different, and it's set in Riverdale, not in where it's set up for the TV series. And,
that's why there's crossovers.
And it's very like that. And it's done by Tabor Takis, the guy that directed The Gate. With The Gate. But it's very like kind of boring, kind of bland, very like TV movie-esque. But Ryan Reynolds is in it, and he's sort of like there's a love interest, which is Harvey, and there's the kind of a bit of a dick, which is Ryan Reynolds' character. And he looks very different, and he plays a jerk, kind of a jerk character, but sort of a jerk. He's kind of like the boyfriend of a jerk, but he's like the character that you don't want to see Sabrina get with. And it was so different. Like I didn't recognize him at first, but I'm getting like 20 minutes in, so I go back after I watch the film to watch the pilot episode of the first season of Sabrina. It's like 22 minutes long. Everything is done there pretty much in the pilot, except one, with cast better, 2, funnier, 3, thankfully 1/4 of the time that I had to spend watching this utterly draining, almost making me fall asleep TV film by the guy that made The Gate, for crying out loud.
It's crazy.
Just had to put that.
It's crazy when you see that,
Well, you never expect with guys like that to do that early stuff. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. You gotta eat. You and your wife have to have food.
I haven't eaten today. I had some breakfast, but I didn't have lunch. I haven't had dinner.
You know what? I haven't either. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so I got up, had a coffee, and had a cup of tea. That's it. So we both need to eat, apparently. Say hi to your wonderful spouse for me. Tell her I'm sorry for keeping you away from your food.
Well, that's all right. She's going to get more impatient than me about it, so.
Oh, there you go. Well, anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank Malcolm for coming in and joining me here today, talking about pretty much everything except Imprint. Yeah. But hopefully they'll make their announcements. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we will.
So I won't be here the weekend because I'm going on vacation. And internet is going to be not so much a thing there.
Nice.
So see you guys soon. And Robert, thanks so much. Everybody have a fantastic day. And
thanks for watching, guys.